So we're off to see William Dawes, and they've got this big pad up here, and basically it has come from shipping money. It's an old Victorian house that's been in the family for about 300 years. And what I'm hoping is that it's one of those houses that's been in the family for so long. Hopefully there's some goodies lying around that have been squirreled away.
The estate of Mount Ephraim is 3 miles east of Faversham and has been looked after by the Dawes family since the 17th century. The house standing here today was built by shipping magnate Sir Edwin Dawes in 1878. It's now run by his great-great-great-grandson, William.
Sir Edwin was working in Glasgow and moved down here and bought this property. He set out on his own and formed a New Zealand shipping company, and that did obviously rather well, hence the massive house he built. We are obviously very proud of the heritage and history of the family. It's very nice to have that history.
Drew's looking to salvage some of the estate's historical treasures.
My mum's a massive hoarder, so we have a basement full of stuff. We have various rooms that are just full of moved furniture, shall I say.
It's funny how the road...
Nice to meet you. How are you doing? Yeah, very well. Come this way. Yeah. My gran lived well into her 90s, certainly into her 80s. Her party trick was to slide down the banisters, which is was quite memorable.
The design of the interior of the house it's a real melting pot of different styles. Come in and you've got huge cast iron Rococo swirls, and you've got neoclassical columns with sort of Georgian pierced plaster and painted decoration. You find this quite often in English houses where they basically nicked lots of different styles because it showed you have travelled, you'd been around the world, you understood all these different styles. It's very glamorous, that's for sure.
As Drew knows only too well, with any English country estate, the best antiques are likely to be found in the property's attics, cellars and dumping rooms.
This is one of our rooms full of old junk.
I love it when people say it's junk and think that's... What I love deeply about coming to these houses is they have their so-called junk rooms. Now, I wish everybody had a junk room like this. They're just great. You go in, you think, look at this, how lucky am I? This is my job, to wander around people's houses and sift through their old stuff. I don't know about you, but I just love it. It just never, ever gets boring. What about that table? It's a chinoiserie card table again. Side table. Hopefully it's got a drawer on one side. Yes, it does. It's a nice little side table. So it's a 19th century Chinese export or Japanese export side table. A little bit thick on the leg. So a lot of water damage to the top. Oh, and the caster's just fallen off now.
Have you just bought it?
I don't...
Offer accepted.
Yeah.
Chinoiserie refers to the European version of Eastern decoration or design, which became popular in the 18th century. This slightly later example from the 1800s has suffered some water damage, but still has the original paintwork and drawers. It could be worth around £500.
2 drawers to the front, little small writing desk set against a wall. Charming, but in quite ropey condition. Not great. Without that top on there, sort of £450. As it stands, £250 because of the damage.
I think it's just sitting in this room gathering dust, so I'm happy with that.
Deal. Fantastic. Thank you. Auntie, really like.
Next, Drew wants to check out the basement, where items from the house have been collecting for over 100 years.
Heading down into the dungeon, as I call it. Oh, and there's a dog down here.
Oh, hello. Oh, look at all this wine. Ooh. Lovely.
You've never seen it unopened for so long.
No, we've never seen full ones, have we?
Some pretty old stuff in here, I'd hazard a guess.
Yeah. Look at this. Look at that for a beast of a thing. Completely unsaleable at the moment.
Drew is looking to buy items with history and provenance, and William has something he thinks could be in with a shot.
Other thing I know of down here is some old ornamental cannons.
Ah, little ones.
Yeah.
Little cannons.
4 or 5 foot.
Are they on bases?
Yeah, I think wooden bases.
Yep, let's have a look. Oh, yeah.
So they used to sit outside the tea room until they were stolen one time. We obviously got them back, but after that they've come down here and stayed here.
Oh, great. You got a pair of them?
Definitely.
Then one odd one.
Yeah.
Blimey. So, look at that.
Expert salvager Drew Pritchard is at historic country estate Mount Ephraim in Kent, which has been in the same family for more than 300 years.
With these rooms, as I'm looking around, I'm able to walk in and go, oh, yeah, that, and that. OK, let's start. Where do we start on the first thing? It's just time on the job, really. Remember, at any one time, everything becomes one man. Cannons, and these aren't fake cannons, these aren't lawn cannons, these aren't decorative. These are cannons designed to repel people, kill things, and sink boats. Are they seized? No, it's not seized up. The frames that they're on, they've rotted in a way that's made them very beautiful, and it gives them a huge amount more age than the frames really are. Now, if those frames were in perfect, beautiful condition, I wouldn't like them as much because they wouldn't have the age. That oak, and it is oak, has rotted through, and it takes hundreds of years for a piece of oak to rot like that. I'm extremely excited by these.
These cast iron cannons are genuine 18th century naval guns, mounted on estate-made 19th or early 20th century oak carriages with cast iron wheels. Purchased by one of William's predecessors, they would have been a display of wealth and knowledge of naval warfare. Left outside for more than a century, the bases
with an item should be kept with it. So they've been here an awful long time. We will say this is where they've come from. It will go on the invoice when sold. So hopefully that will stick with them. And history is everything. So it might not add to the price, and it won't in this case. It really won't. But it will add to the story long term.
I think he was very fair, and no complaints from me. It was easy.
I've done in. You have not done anything.
Hello.
You had loads of massive Polish fellas helping you.
We're really good.
Thank you, mate.
Well, thank you very
Appreciate
much.
it.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Thank you for showing big heavy cannon.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. See you later.
Have a good journey.
With a good haul and some provenance to help them sell, Drew wants to get the antiques back to base as soon as possible.
Hi.
Hi. What is
We got
this?
cannons.
Cannons.
Real cannons.
What's lovely about the cannons is that they came from a house that was built from the money made by shipping. So the history and the provenance just all tie up together so nicely. So basically you poured the gunpowder in there,
Yeah.
and there was a wick.
Yeah, roll the ball down the other end, pack it in, wallop.
The cannons are sent straight to Gav for some much-needed restoration.
Time for the operation.
They can't go on the website until the oak bases have been treated.
All the wood's not rotten, but it's quite old and it's decayed in places and it's all wobbly and the bolts are not doing what they're meant to do, so we're going to put some hardener on them.
Gav starts by treating the bases with wood hardener. Made from extra strong resin, it soaks down into the wood's core, hardening into a tough layer which protects the wood from further damage.
Stop it decaying, really. It's better than replacing it. The more authenticity you can keep with an item, the more money you're going to get for it, and the better it is, and the easier it is to sell. These have got to be strong enough to hold, like, I don't know, feels like 300 kilo cannon. Sit on that, it's just going to fall straight through it.
After leaving it to set, he enlists the help of Carl to see if the wood hardener has worked and the bases can take the weight of the cannons.
Is it worth strapping it to get a better lift on it? You know, lift
You've
your
only got to
furniture.
go there.
No, I can lift it. I'm not bothered about that. You've got a really heavy end.
Come with the guns for nothing.
Yeah, but you fire blanks. On 3. 1, 2, 3, go. Okay. All right, that's my bit done.
With the cannon's bases hardened, they're then photographed and ready for sign-off from Drew.
I'm particularly pleased with how the restoration's come out. It's more of a conservation job than restoration, and the lads have got it spot on.
Drew's judgment when securing items with provenance was right on the money, as the staff from Houghton Pagnell Hall swiftly sells to a dealer in Northern Ireland, purely because of its original label. The 2 chairs from St Mary's Cathedral go quickly too, purchased by a gallery owner who kits out his studio in central Paris with design-led mid-century furniture. A Beatrix Potter enthusiast from Birmingham buys the Peter Rabbit chairs for his grandson, where they'll be pride of place in a child's nursery again. And the single cannon shoots straight out of the door, bought by a private collector in Kent, who lives just 30 miles away from Mount Ephraim.
So it was
The house standing here today was built by shipping magnate Sir Edwin Dawes in 1878. It's now run by his great-great-great-grandson, William.
Sir Edwin was working in Glasgow and moved down here and bought this property. He set out on his own and formed a New Zealand shipping company, and that did obviously rather well, hence the massive house he built. We are obviously very proud of the heritage and history of the family. It's very nice to have that history.
Drew's looking to salvage some of the estate's historical treasures.
My mum's a massive hoarder, so we have a basement full of stuff. We have various rooms that are just full of moved furniture, shall I say.
It's funny how the roads bring you to the back of the house.
Well, all that they wouldn't want, you know, people trolling up to the back of the house with a...
How are you doing? Yeah, very well. Come this way. Yeah.